Hello, welcome back. In this series of classes, we are going to look at one of powerful Excel function in data cleaning, trim function. Trim function remove leadings, trailings, and also extra spaces in our data set in Excel. Let me give you an example. Here, we are having this data. This value is not the same as this value here, because you can see this value has no extra space. This value has an extra space towards the right. This value has towards the left extra space. This value has just one space. This value here has two double spaces between the words. These two values look very identical, but they are again very different because of the white spaces that we may not be seeing. And this can have a lot of impact during our analysis, and of course a lot of impact on the formulas that we are using in Excel. So trim function do remove these extra spaces, but in this case, when you have a single space between word, then it leaves it that way, so that trim function do understand that there are spaces between the two words in our data set. Having said that, when do we use, or when is trimming important in our data, or what can lead to such values, such extra spaces towards the end, towards the beginning, or even extra space between words? So this can happen because of data being imported from other software where there are some spaces in between values, or if text data is copy pasted in Excel, you might be having a lot of extra spaces in your data. And also when you have typo error during data entered manually. So if you are not sure who has entered the data, if you have imported the data, or if you have copy pasted data from text data, then it is important for you to perform trimming. Again, this trimming, I can look at it as it is a requirement. So whenever you want to clean your data, of course, whenever you want to analyze your data, you want to clean your data. So incorporate trimming procedures in your data all time, every time. All right. So having said that, reasons for trimming. Why do we do this trimming? If there are these extra spaces, why do we want to remove these extra spaces? Number one reason is to look professional. If you look at my data here, this looks really bad, right? And this one is not again good. So for our data to be look professional, easy to read, we'll need to remove all these extra spaces. Again, to make sure that our data is consistent. Remember, we want all our formatting, all our data set, all our values to be formatted in the same way so that we can handle this data effectively in Excel. Again, some functions in Excel do not work well when we using when our data set having such extra spaces, and you might run into an error, or even you might be having inaccurate functions or inaccurate result while working with extra spaces. So for your function to work well, for your data to be consistent, and for your data to be looking professional or easy to read, then you have to remove all extra spaces in your data set. Again, I have mentioned just text values, but again, trimming is very powerful when you work with numerical data. So in our upcoming class, I'm going to handle both trimming text data and also trimming numerical data in Excel. Thank you for joining and enjoy learning.